Let's see. We'll just start in a couple minutes, Karen.
All righty.
We'll give you a couple more minutes to think about your answers.
See, Jen doesn't mess around, you guys, just so you know. And for you, those of you that know her, you can understand this.
Yes. Our BaZi combines. That's why we are BFFs. So, all right. I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. And then this obviously will be recorded. We'll be sharing that. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jen Stone, owner of Feng Shui by Jen, in case you don't know that. I'm so excited to launch this BaZi Gratitude Series. I think my whole motivation behind wanting to do it is, one, we're all in isolation, but this is not a bad place to be stuck as it is with you too, Karen. And second, I feel as if the world needs a little bit more lightheartedness and positivity. So I also wanted to use this platform to share some of my loves, and of course, BaZi being one of that. And I wanted to corral a bunch of different women, amazing, awesome, talented women that are within my circle that are also doing their own thing. They're sharing their light, making a difference in the world. And I wanted to have a dialogue in terms of how we weave in BaZi, which is an amazing tool that helps us to understand energy, the people that we interact with, and the spaces that we're in. And so I am super excited to feature my first guest, my best friend, Karen Moore, owner of Zen by Karen Moore, and she's streaming live today from the Florida Keys. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello from the Keys.
Yes. So Karen, just for viewers, I do want to keep the intro short so we can get to the gist of our dialogue today about the Zen life. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is it that you're doing?
Well, my name is Karen Moore. Obviously, I live in the Florida Keys, and I am first and foremost the owner of Zen by Karen Moore, which is it's a jewelry company. That's how it started out. I kind of see it growing and morphing a little bit into just a positive energy lifestyle, like sharing things that really it's the things I love in my life, and just trying to spread that and share that with as many people as I can. It's like I am a corporate girl, like by trade, so I think I bring a lot of perspective as to like the feelings of what it's like to work for other people versus work for yourself. And I feel very fortunate to have started this company almost 10 years ago out in Arizona when I met Jen. And that's a long story, and I think it's out there somewhere. We can read about it. But essentially, my life right now is mostly working with gemstones and ocean elements and sharing the positive energy that sits behind stones and things from the earth. And I love essential oils, so we're kind of going to talk a little bit about that, and just bringing easy daily practices into your life that you can kind of add to your, what I call wellness toolkit.
Your wellness toolkit. Well, thanks, Karen. You know, it's interesting because, and we probably won't dive too deep into this, but we do share a common thing in that our past lives was very heavy corporate. And so we sort of at the same time started our own businesses and kind of walked away from the corporate setting to choose this life of passion. Not so easy. But, you know, when I think about the word Zen, obviously my association with it is through the Asian culture of Zen, right? And in today's world, it may have the connotation with meditation and introspectiveness and being attuned to oneself, spirituality. To me, I associate the Zen life as sort of this femininity, right? But when you're a business owner, a lot of that aspect is actually quite masculine because you're putting yourself out there, you're taking risks, you're pushing, right? You're pushing over your boundaries. And so for your interesting background coming from the corporate world, but also as long as I've known you, you've always sort of embodied this Zen lifestyle, right? So you were the corporate girl that loved all the gemstones and the essential oils and alternative healing and yoga and breath work and all that fun stuff. And so how do you find that balance between the feminine and the masculine energy of wanting to pursue, right, your business and making that a success, even more of it a success, but at the same time, grounding yourself in the spiritual practice and doing your best to embody this Zen lifestyle?
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's so funny that I started the company Zen, and exactly what you said, it's everything. But for me, I actually, on a daily basis, I think many people think I have this like life where I wake up and I meditate and I do yoga and I'm always calm, cool, and collected. I'm actually the exact opposite of that. I think I do a really, really good job balancing it and being really hyper aware of everything. So I think that's really the one thing that kind of is interesting. And when I look back at like when I started the name Zen, I think it is truly striving for what you just described, like being able to be calm amongst the crazy. And again, my things are so simple. Like I tell people, like wearing a piece of jewelry with a positive stone. Like right now I'm wearing mother of pearl because it's nurturing and loving. It's super protective. It's like little things like that that I consider the Zen lifestyle. It's not sitting and meditating for hours and hours a day. I mean, I have a hard time meditating, quite honestly, for 5 minutes. Like for me, that's a really difficult thing to do. I like to be active and my mind is always going. Maybe Jen will get into this too about my actual BaZi and my elements that actually embody me. It's funny when you start to learn about that and how to put that into work and play, because I am, I love to be social, but I have a business. And so I'm doing a lot of things like that. So I think it's really the little things in life for me that represent Zen. Even if it's waking up in the morning and having a cup of tea while sitting outside, and just trying to be a little Zen.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And it could be that simple. And I think each of those things could be different for different people. But for me, I work really hard at being aware and trying to bring small little things into my life every day to make me feel good, even when maybe things aren't so good.
So now that we are social distancing and we're sort of forming this new normal for all of us that we share, you and I talk a lot about the PTSD syndromes of surviving past traumas, right? So you are the survivor of Irma that bolted its head a couple years ago in Florida. So based on that experience, we talk a lot about finding ways to appreciate where we're at, and in a way that's shifting our perspective. And when we shift our perspective, we essentially shift our reality, right? And so while it can be doom and gloom when you lost your house, you lost your, important pieces of furniture and the memorable things and just the way life used to be, which I think a lot of us are sort of in that space right now. There's a lot of grief that we're holding on to simple things like, I don't know if that favorite restaurant of mine is going to survive, or if that person's going to come back, whatever that might look like. It's how do you see sort of the day-to-day simple Zen practices have helped you rise above that very challenging time in your life, which I know you're still emotionally dealing with that, as it applies to what's happening today?
Yeah, this has been really an interesting situation for me. Like Jen said, I actually lost my house in Irma and was homeless for a little while, not on the street. I had a lot of people helping me, and my little network of angels came in and helped me. But I will tell you, I learned the number one thing during that whole process, and even right now, because I do see a lot of suffering and I'm very empathetic. I feel a lot for the people around me, and it is very hard to picture what your life will be. So it's important to stay present, try to really be in the moment. And my biggest thing is all about perspective, because we can shift our perspective as simple as, sometimes I hate to say it, during the Irma thing, I used to always say it could be way worse. I use it all the time. And that's a horrible way to think, because someone else maybe is that person that is worse. But it puts your life in perspective, and being grateful and gratitude in this series really hit home for me. Kind of glad I'm the first one, because I like to be number one.
Yes,
But
you are.
I do. But I think that's what's important, is being able to see yourself in the big picture and like becoming like more aware of who you are. I really think people are going to shift and find a way to be okay. Like you have to rise up and become a stronger, better human. In my perspective, I think a lot of us, the things that maybe were once important to you, even me with my business and what I'm doing, I have to change. Like I can't just sit behind and put all my stuff at the stores. Go look at my website. I'm working on a website. Like I'm trying to like be in the moment and be okay with where that is. And it may not be what we planned. And I think that's probably the hardest thing. And I'm being very real about my emotions. Like the PTSD, I really think I blocked a lot out. When this all started, I was like, oh, it's fine. But last week I really felt the change. I was like, I'm not going to go out for another month. Like I have to do something. I can't, and I'm working a lot because I wear a lot of hats, and I won't get into that. So I'm not bored at home. If I was, I would probably keep myself busy, like out in the yard. I'd do gardening. I'd find something. And I think for some people, being quiet and meditative is their like therapy. For me, I want to add more Zen and space in my life. So right now I'm trying to be really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we, because Karen and I, we talk almost every day. Actually, I think we do talk every day. And a big part of what we often come back to is in our creativity, right? When you own a business, it takes a lot of energy to stay relevant, to come up with new ideas, right? And we talk a lot about originality and authenticity, right? And so I really do feel like originality is sometimes tough when you think about how much of what you do is saturated in the market, whether that's in feng shui or that's in jewelry design or whatever. How do you find it challenging to find your authentic voice in the midst of maybe some saturation or things that have been done over 10 times? Like, what is your process of finding authenticity, or what is your current emotions around that?
It's been actually, I always feel like for me and working with jewelry, that's a great thing to be like. You never actually always feel like you're authentic because everybody has jewelry. You know, everybody does something that might look similar. But for me, I am all about the energy behind things and making sure people are aware of what you're putting on your body. So I'm trying to get back to that. And one of the things that I think for me has been something that I'm really trying to stick with is being simple, which is not easy for me.
Nope.
And what's interesting is I launched this term. It's called Just Be. I did that. Why? Because I need that, right? Like, it's like I'm creating something that I'm trying to inspire others to be as well as myself. But each of these little charms, like I made this charm back in 2014. I don't even know if you could see it. Yeah. But guess what? This is original and authentic. It's all me. I made it. I designed it. I have someone manufacture it in New Mexico now. On the back of the little charm, it says Zen. And that I'm just going to relaunch this and kind of share something so simple and so easy. And I feel like that's really me, because everything I do is all about, let's be whatever you want, you know, be the energy of the stone. And so I'm trying to just be simple and be okay with maybe not being out and touching it and showing people. Like, for me, not being around people, that's really how I sell. I sell online, but my main way to reach people is in a shop, at a show. I do custom stuff, and I'm touching and feeling with the people. So that's a big change for me.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm going to be looking for inspiration from other people and just a lot of coaching. And along the way, there's been a couple people that have reached out that want to help me do that. And I need help. Guess what? I've never, ever let someone help me with my business ever.
No.
So this is huge for me. I'll let you know how it goes.
So when we talk about BaZi, and for those who may or may not know what BaZi, just in its simplest term, is just understanding the energetic blueprint of a person's life and how one relates or interacts with the energy of our time, right? So for example, this is the year of the metal rat. It's a very powerful, strong, overwhelming tsunami water year, okay? And with that, it stirs up a lot of emotions that provoke things like anxiety and grief. With uncertainties, there's fears, there's a lot of that kind of emotion bubbling around. And so I think it's really important to first acknowledge that that is what's going on. The second part is, how do we move through it, right? How do we move through it, and how do we rise above it? And so you and I, we are always doing your BaZi, and we do it, you know, in your personal life, and understanding where you're at, understanding Clint, your husband, understanding everybody, your family. But how have you implemented BaZi in your Zen life, professionally and personally, and in your jewelry design?
I think I've actually loved watching like the progression of what I'm learning from BaZi as Jen has been like, you know, skyrocketing in her career. I've been super fortunate to kind of have I would say like almost like I don't know if it's a back seat, like as you've been driving through doing your thing. But I honestly have been using like consultations with you since the beginning. So what is that, 6 years ago? Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And for me, BaZi and the elements that are in everywhere, I think it's the true understanding of the cycles have really helped me. So I don't know how detailed we want to get here because we're trying to be short and sweet. Maybe we can do another one.
Yeah.
But for me, it's been helpful to know how I interact with other people in my life, my husband, like when we have clashes or penalties, all these are all little things maybe we don't have to maybe focus on so much. But something that really I love is the elements as they shift throughout the year. That's been something that's really been interesting. I have a consultation with Jen, like a full-on one, at least twice a year, where we talk about health, you know, wellness, business, you know, my house. And it's important as you shift throughout the year to know. And so for me, there's been times where it's like, you probably don't want to do that, Karen. It's not the best time. And I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, why? You know, and she's like, well, why don't you wait until July? This is a great month for you to like break out and shine, you know? So for me, I have definitely taken the seasonality of BaZi to heart. And I'm learning more and more. I want to someday take the actual class so I can really dive into all the details with everybody I know. But it's been really interesting to process that and make sure maybe when I want to work on projects with my business, I might even do a check-in and be like, hey, when would it be a good time for me to launch this website to work on this? You know, is this person I'm working with like in good luck? Like, is this going to help me? Or is this person going to like hinder me? So those are other things that are very powerful. And I believe in it. My husband believes in it now. He's like, this is great. Let's check with Jen on this. And, you know, the elements are always there. And I think once you start to see these in your life and in your past, you really can help yourself kind of deal with that day-to-day, maybe not feeling so great, or knowing your days that are good to do reading, to study, you know, the next thing, embark on a project. So I love the cyclical nature of it. And I think that's really helped me kind of hone in when I want to do different things with my business.
So speaking of incorporating the teachings of BaZi and the power of gemstones, and really the intention behind that, which is really, to me, the way you're sharing Zen is really the intention behind everything that you're doing. It can be as simple as a piece of just a small stone to big things, different action items that you do in a single day. And so this is an example of a creation that we did, which embodies the energy of 2020. Metal is a white color, water is black, and metal is 6, the number 6. So we have 6 stones. And Karen, tell us a little bit about the gemstones that we chose to represent the energy of the metal rat.
Okay, so we have the white is howlite. This is, like Jen said, the metal element, but the energy behind an actual howlite gemstone, and they come in all different colors. You can see them on me too. They come with like gray to white. It's really all about clarity and wisdom. This stone is about enlightenment and getting to the next level, whatever that means to you. It doesn't mean you have to be a Buddhist sitting up on a mountain. Enlightenment is just becoming a little bit smarter in your life. And everybody wants that. I want that every day.
I want to be smart.
And it's just making it easier, right, to flow in life. So that is one. And then the lava is such a great gemstone. It's not even a stone. It's not even a gem. It's truly just an element. It comes from the earth. It's a rock. It's porous, but it's all about strength and stability and courage. Hey, this is a water element. Who doesn't need a little strength and courage right now and stability? Because guess what? It doesn't feel stable anywhere. I don't think for anyone. If you feel that, yay. But these elements, and it's also a very, very balanced design. When you look at it,
it looks like the yin and yang symbol.
Yeah. And the lava's great. Do you want me to talk about the oil?
Yeah, then you're going to do a gift giveaway.
Yeah. So this lava has been a really popular item for me. People are very into essential oils, and the porousness of this stone allows you to put your essential oil or any perfume or something that is a little bit, has a scent to it. It will adhere to the actual lava rock, and it becomes a personal diffuser that you can wear throughout your day to remember to feel grounded or safe, secure, whatever the intention is that you want to put on. It could be your glasses, but for us, this is the bracelet that represents
2020
year.
Yeah, because it's all about, I wrote an article, Be Like Water. And, a lot of people oftentimes talk about wanting to transform. They want to grow. And yes, that's what the water element embodies. But oftentimes we forget that there is an important step right before transformation. And that is to confront and to overcome fear, right? And so I think that we are at the beginning stage of that right now. And that's why, like, going back to what you said about, I think we're all going to be better humans when we're done with this. And so this is just a symbol or a reminder to you that we're all in it together. We're all in the same journey. We have different stages of spiritual maturity, but here is an opening. And so Karen and I also put together a special essential oil blend. Do you want to tell them quickly the ingredients?
Yeah. So this was something when we talked about what was coming this year, and we knew this. We designed this back in August of last year.
Yeah.
And we named this oil Be Elevated, because that's what we're doing this year. This was way before any of this happened, but guess what? Everyone's going to be elevated, even if you want to or not. That's my take when this is over. But the idea was that this lifts your mood and it frees you, like your mind, from this cluttered feeling. And what we put in here was frankincense, bergamot, and myrtle. Yes. So it's a really, really fresh scent. It's unisex. I think everyone can like it. And I put it with a little organic jojoba oil, which is the one that's no nuts. Some people are allergic. I love almond oil, but a lot of people are allergic.
My husband,
So this is a little aromatherapy roller. So you can roll this on your body, but you can also put it right on your lava rocks, boop, boop, and rub it together. And you have your own diffuser. Yeah, we're going to gift one of these away.
Yes. So Karen, I want you to pick a number 1 to 80, because we had 80 people that registered. We don't have 80 people participating because they will go back and watch the recording. But I want you to pick number 1 through 80, and that will be the person who's going to win this essential oil.
Ooh, okay. Let's do number 18.
Okie dokie. I will have to look and let you know.
Oh, okay. We don't know who it is.
I don't know who it is.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
I know. Okay,
Jen,
maybe
next time. Next time we're gonna get better.
Okay, so I want you to pick another number, because I'm gonna gift the volume 5 of the Feng Shui Journal, which is so super fun. I mean, we're all at home. We want to just expand our brains. So this will get shipped to you, which is the latest edition of the Feng Shui Journal. So Karen, pick another number.
Let's do 71.
Okie dokie. We don't know who you are, so we'll have to see.
We have there's a is it Temple was asking us here about how to buy the bracelet and the oil. So you have it on your website, Jen?
It's on my website. Just go on fengshuibyjen.com and click on shop, and then you'll find that on there.
I also, this charm here, I have an Etsy shop. And so this mother of pearl bee necklace is out there, as well as the charm, as the oils and the bracelet. Jen offers a special discount for buying the two together. And maybe I'll update mine so people get that. But I have a code that anyone who wants to go on if you go to zenbykarenmoore.com, maybe you could share a code with them.
Yeah.
It's just Zen out 15 off. You get free shipping, and I'm doing pretty much 15% off of everything through the end of the summer, just because that's how I'm going to be selling now. So yeah.
Cool. Well, we're going to share all that information, but we need to conclude. And before we do that, Karen, what thought or words of wisdom would you like to leave with our viewers today?
Oh, I think one of the things that I've been trying to do a little bit more, and it's a lot of work right now, but I'm going to get there, is I think about simplifying, like being simple and adding a little bit of Zen for me is something as simple as sipping my tea or my coffee out on the porch in my yard. I even go for walks with coffee now. Never done that before. I used to treat it like a workout, you know? So I feel like it's so simple, and to give yourself 5 minutes. I mean, even moms, people that have to work, if you could do just that 5 minutes, it really does reset you. And that's, for me, is what I'm trying to do, is come up with a simpler ritual in my life to kind of always be getting to, I think, have more space. Like that's really, and it's funny I'm saying that, but right now I don't have space, but I'm creating that, and I'm really trying to clean house. And for me, nature helps a lot. So I think a 5-minute little nature break, even if it's cold where you are, whatever that looks like, if it's staring at a tree or the birds, like for me, that's been really something I think that's really good, is be still. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Karen. I'm going to do this really quick and put this up here so that people can actually take a quick look. Our faces are in the way, but thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope this was a nice, cute little break that breaks up your day while we're all social distancing and doing our part to keep our community safe. If you have any questions, feel free to send them over. And I will be rolling out these series throughout this month. In fact, we'll be back next Tuesday with Lori Sutherland. She's going to talk about beauty and wellness. And but in the meantime, I wish you all well and healthy. Karen, I think there's a question here. Let me just get to it really quick.
Okay. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone for listening. This was really fun, and it's a good way to connect. And so I love this. Jen's been a little bit inspirational to me. So hopefully I'll be getting out more and sharing. And so if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. I really do miss the interaction with people. So
yes,
I'm kind of looking forward to that. I told Jen I'd like to maybe in a month do a check-in, like do another one. And
absolutely.
yeah.
And if you know anybody, or if you would like to be featured, I would love to include you. So this is all about coming together and helping each other out while spreading a little bit more light. And yeah, that's that.
Yeah. So everybody stay positive. Smile.
Okay. Bye-bye.